Hello and welcome to Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. I am Evan Deal with Elite Icon Team and eXp Realty, and today we are going to dive into the west side of Indianapolis in Plainfield, Indiana. So we're going back to the suburbs. We're going to explore this community and what makes it special amongst all the other suburbs around Indianapolis. But before we get to that, be sure to leave a like on this video if you want to learn more about all the communities around Indianapolis. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you can stay in the loop on everything happening in and around the Circle City. We love bringing it all to you. Now with that, let's dive into Plainfield. All right, so the first pro of Plainfield, Indiana is the real estate. And what you're going to see here is the median home price, which is around $340K, $350K, favors very comparably on what you're getting for your money in Plainfield versus other suburbs around Indianapolis and areas within Indianapolis as well. And in Plainfield, your money is going to stretch a bit further. You can get a little bit bigger lots, a little bit bigger houses for that same price than, let's say, if you go up on the north side, or maybe you're going down to Center Grove. Even on the west side, if you're going into Brownsburg, your money is going to stretch a little bit further in Plainfield. You're going to be able to get more house for the same price. So it gives you additional options. And the inventory in Plainfield is a bit different than other areas. There's a whole mix of different types of homes, everything from rental homes and apartments to single family homes of all different types. So there's a wide variety. There's even new build opportunities in Plainfield, which some areas around Indianapolis are starting to cap out in terms of their ability to produce a ton of new inventory in their market. But Plainfield's not there yet. Plainfield still has new build options as well as existing homes. So the real estate is great. And the pro number two for what is great about Plainfield is the epic trail system and all the amazing parks. You've heard me say this about a lot of areas around Indianapolis, but Plainfield really stands out in this regard. There are a ton of parks, and they're really good parks in and around Plainfield. So Hummel Park is one of the big parks. There's tons of room to play, trails, just getting out in nature in a big way. But in addition to that, there are plenty of other parks as well. You have the White Lick Creek Trail, which is another major place where you can bike, hike, walk, just get out into nature, move around, and really explore the areas. And it sits in a floodplain, so you don't have to worry about a bunch of development on it. Not saying you're going to walk through a swamp or something like that, just saying it's going to be a great nature place for years to come. You also have Vanderbosch Park, Sledding Hill, you have Splash Island nearby, and a lot of these parks are interconnected as well, which makes getting from one to another very simple. If you want to ride a bike or you want to quickly park hop from one to another, there's tons of places, even smaller places like Anderson Park, that you can go and get out and have a great time around Plainfield. The third reason why Plainfield is a great place to live is all of the shopping opportunities. So Plainfield is home to the Shops at Perry Crossing, and there is so much to do there. There's every kind of shop you can imagine. All of the big box retail stores, everything from clothing to sporting goods and everything in between. They have it there. The movie theater there. There's tons of restaurants, from higher end restaurants to your normal chain restaurants. It's all there. And what makes it unique among a lot of the shopping places around Indianapolis is that it's very walkable. It's designed as an outdoor space where you can explore different shops, different places to hang out. And there's a bunch of new development in that area as well. There's really nice apartments that are just off of the main shopping area. And there's all sorts of space for future developments as well. So really, there's a lot to do there. And anything you could want or need to buy, you can get it all in one place. And the fourth reason why Plainfield is an amazing place to live, I probably should have made this number one. I'm bearing the lead here because it's amazing. The Plainfield downtown. The Plainfield downtown has the sort of historic charm that you see in some other areas around Indianapolis, but it's continually developing and evolving and changing over time as different needs of the community arise. So there's so much to do in Plainfield's downtown, and it really makes it a standout on the west side. So one of the big highlights is a relatively new addition, and that's Hendrix Live, which is a huge, like 600 plus seat performance venue where they have musical acts. There's the Hendrix Symphony there. There's all sorts of different acts that come in, different traveling, and a lot of it's music based. There's arts based, and it's a real cultural hub on the west side. There's stuff like this downtown. In the Circle, we have like the Indianapolis Symphony. There's different theaters downtown. Carmel has its arts district, but this is a true West Side cultural hub sitting right in the heart of Plainfield. In addition to that, there's, like I mentioned, a lot of historical buildings, really nice architecture within Plainfield. And then there's all sorts of local places to eat downtown as well. You have the Oasis Diner, you have Paw Street Bakery, you have Two Chicks Whiskey Business, and more. There's plenty of places to explore in Plainfield, and it really has its own cultural identity amongst all the places you can live around Indianapolis, and it makes it a really neat place to live. All right, now let's flip it around and look at some of the cons of living in Plainfield. And while I did mention that there is some local flair with the eateries, there are actually a lot of chain restaurants as well. So, I mean, if you go to Perry Crossing, you're going to see a lot of chain restaurants there. You got your Applebee's and Chili's and that type of food. And you have that quite a bit throughout Plainfield. Plainfield sits just off of I-70, which makes it super easy to get to and from, whether you're going up into Indianapolis proper or going somewhere out west or east. But with being off the interstate, you get a lot of those chain restaurants as well. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that if you're looking for super artisanal options, there are other communities that cater more to that around Indianapolis. Plainfield has a variety. And con number 2, I talked about the amazing downtown in Plainfield, and it is really great in a lot of ways. But what it lacks is a central gathering spot. So kind of like I've talked about before with Avon's like Easton Gray development that's going in the near future, where they're creating that central hub for Avon, that cultural heart. Plainfield doesn't fully have that. It's in downtown, where it's that walkable type of all meeting place. That's the heartbeat of the city. So that's something that may be often in the distance for Plainfield to be developed. It does have a great downtown, but it lacks that true walkable feel that you get in places like Carmel, and that's going to be in Avon soon, and other areas around Indianapolis. Con number 3 has its pros as well, but it can be a con. Con number 3 is airport noise. So Plainfield sits pretty much right next to the Indianapolis International Airport, which, sidebar, is the best airport in the United States. Don't just take my word for it. It's been voted that for like 12 straight years. And I bet it'll be another 12 plus years in the future because it's amazing. But for Plainfield's sake, it is right next to it. So you do get some airport noise that can come into the community because you have tons of planes flying relatively low in the area. So there are other areas of Indianapolis that have, more airport noise, but of the suburbs around Indianapolis, Plainfield definitely get over indexes in terms of having, that sort of noise pollution come from the airport. Now, conversely, it's close to the airport. So if you need to use the airport, it's a great place to live, right? If you're someone who flies out a lot for business, it's hard to beat the convenience of Plainfield because it's right there. It's a very quick trip over to IND. So pros and cons here, but the con can be a little bit noise. And con number 4 is not unique to Plainfield, but it definitely applies to Plainfield. And it's that in the newer build communities in Plainfield, you get a lack of diversity among the houses in terms of how they're built, how they look. The architectural style, it can really blend together after a while. And you see this in a lot of the new build communities because oftentimes builders will have to build to scale. So they're planning out an entire community and they are able to create affordable houses by having materials that they're able to use across a large number of houses. So you get some homogeneity within the houses. You see this in other areas around Indianapolis. You see it in Greenwood. You see it in somewhat on the north side, up in maybe the outskirts of Noblesville or Fishers. You see it in Franklin Township. But definitely Plainfield sees this as well with its new build communities. So depending on what you're looking for, there are lots of different real estate options in Plainfield. So if you're looking for an established home, that does exist. If you want a new build home and the conveniences that come with that, those exist too. They may just not be the most unique from an architecture standpoint. So that's it for our look at Plainfield. Lots of pros, a few cons, but on the whole, a very, very good place to live and one of Indianapolis's great suburbs. And I'm going to give you a spoiler. We have a ton of great suburbs. It's an amazing place to live here in Indy. So if you want to learn more about Plainfield, more about all the other amazing areas in and around Indianapolis, stay tuned to this channel. Leave a like on this video, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so that you are staying in the loop on everything happening in and around the Circle City. I'm Evan Deal with Elite Icon Team and eXp Realty, and this is Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. We can't wait to see you in the next one.